Is what happened the last 2 weeks significant? And if you are not impressed or you don't think it's significant, what do they need to do before you think, in the midst of a rebuild, they've done something significant? And I'm impressed with the last 2 weeks, and I'll tell you what impresses me. What impresses me, honestly, is the play of the secondary. I mean, Justin Fields made plays with his feet, right?
Yeah.
How many times did Justin Fields drop back, survey, and look, and get out of trouble, and continue to survey, and continue to look? And eventually he might find someone. But one of the reasons why the Lions, he broke so many of those tackles in the backfield and the sacks is because he had nobody to throw to in the first place. Right? I mean, he only threw for, 167 yards. But when he hits his back foot, looks at option one, goes to a second read, goes to his third read, here comes a pass rush, he escapes it, and then eventually hits somebody. I mean, you can't cover forever, but, I mean, this secondary's playing pretty darn well.
Yeah, I thought that I think that's a good point. He didn't throw for many yards. I mean, obviously he ran for 140-something, but he didn't throw for many yards. And a lot of those yards came, 5 seconds after the snap? Because he had bought himself that extra time to maneuver around the pocket. I thought it was quite evident on the Bears' last drive. I mean, the defense got to him twice, 2 sacks in that last drive. Hutchinson got him, and then, of course, the final play. It was that is absolutely a product of what the secondary was doing. And I was really impressed with that last drive because they did it without Deshaun Elliott, without their starting safety. I mean, again, they're behind the 8 ball trying to find another safety to be healthy to play for this team. But Aaron Glenn talked to the guys, figured things out, I guess, to a point, and, they have the opportunities to make plays, and they finally made plays.
I mean, the defense, they still gave up 30 points, right? I mean, it wasn't like
it wasn't a flawless performance by any means.
But, I mean, they got a stop when they needed it. And the Bears, because remember, the Bears only need to get into field goal range, and they didn't come close.
Right, and I'm thankful that the Bears get into this mode at the end of the game where they thought that, running the ball just wasn't going to be effective, when running the ball all game was effective. They ran for 258 yards. This is the NFL's leading rushing offense, and Lions did nothing to stop it. Bears were just getting it done. Whether it was Fields or Herbert or Montgomery, they all got the job done. So I was glad that the Bears decided to abandon that and we're just going to throw the ball. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Because what did we say on Friday? If you're going to try to scheme a way to win this game, it was make them beat you through the air. Mm-hmm. They're going to get the yards in the ground, and hopefully you can try to contain Justin Fields and he won't run wild. Well, he ran a little wild.
They didn't. He ran wild. Okay.
Certainly the one play, the 67-yard run was ridiculous, but it's ridiculous with his talent that got him through that line and it's gone. And you didn't contain him in the run game. You didn't contain the run game. However, they didn't have the explosive pass plays either. Mooney was kind of a non-factor. The only guy that was really a factor was Cole Kmet, the tight end, which, raise your hand if you've ever seen that before, right? The tight end beats the Lions.
Right.
But they didn't win the game. The Lions won the game. And finally, a little luck goes the Lions' way. The Bears miss the extra point. Lions take advantage of that. And how about that last drive for the Lions? The last 2 drives for the Lions. The one that got them the lead, and then maybe even more importantly, it's the last drive when they've got the ball and everyone knows you're going to run the ball. You got to run to win, and they ran to win. They ran the clock out.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, I think they would have been able to run it out anyway, but still being able to run for a first down when they knew their Lions were going to run, and they still ran for a first down. Nonetheless, it was. And you mentioned the breaks they got, the illegal hands in the face, which nullified the interception. That was such a same old Lions play that the Bears, same old Bears. I mean, I can't believe that was a fortunate time because the illegal hands to the face on Trinity Benson had nothing to do with the play.
Right.
I mean, maybe he would have gone that direction had he, it might have had something to do with the play, but it really had nothing to do with the interception that Goff threw.
It gets called all the time. And no matter where you're at, you stick that hand up in the face, you're going to get in trouble.
But were the Lions the team that made those massive mistakes? No, it was the Bears. And the Bears aren't a great team, but, we're talking about trying to take steps forward. And look, somebody immediately sent us a text. I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm sorry, it was a tweet. And I can't tell what network did it. Josh did on Twitter, officially on the graphic. He sent a video of the Lions being on a graphic that it looks like it might be an ESPN. It's really kind of a direct TV. It's on Red Zone. NFC playoff picture. Division leaders. They list the 4 of them. Wild card leaders. List the 4 of them. In the hunt. Commanders, Falcons, Rams, Lions, Packers, Cardinals. And I'm like, there they go. They're on the graphic. Which, I guess it's very technical. Technically, they are on the graphic.
Well, they're not eliminated from it, are they?
Well, they're not eliminated. And look, if you're a Detroit Lion, okay, if you are a Detroit Lion, 100% you understand that you are just 2 games out of a playoff spot. That's the way you should think. That's the way you should think. I probably won't flip my mind and start thinking about games with playoff ramifications unless they win the next 2. Because that means beating a Giants team that's in the playoffs and a Bills team that's in the playoffs.
Well, that would be pretty big.
Yep. And I don't suspect they'll do that.
No, I really don't even approach. I mean, to me, it'll be that same thing, and not just because of who they're playing, but because then it would put them at 5-6, just a game below 500, and we think that maybe an 8-win team might get into the playoffs this year. So that would be 8-9, which would be one below 500. That's when I'll start thinking about it. But I'm not thinking about it right now. Right now, I'm just happy that this team has shown actual improvement in both sides of the ball. It was interesting that we got the best punter in the league, and yesterday was not his best effort.
No.
Not the best game for Jack Fox. It's okay. They overcome it. They win the game. They can be happy again, and boy, were they happy, and they deserve to be happy. And now the prep work begins for your Giants, and this is not going to be easy.